Dang it.
I'm glad that that's the first thing on the recording is, dang it.
All right, good way to start. You gotta make it one of those buttons that put on the dashboard.
That was Ann Janae.
I didn't say a bad word.
No, you're
I just
right.
said, dang
You're
it.
right. You caught yourself on that one. Okay, so just a real quick recap, and then we'll move on to some more new stuff today. For demand, we're looking at two items: desire and ability. So remember that. These two things, we're just gonna keep on repeating and coming back to those. Again, price, interaction of supply and demand, both of those.
Wait, where are you?
Very beginning, smack dab at the beginning. I'm just gonna kind of review and catch us up.
Okay.
Markets, any situation where we're exchanging items. So it does not have to be monetary, any type of exchange. Law of demand, basic, prices go up, demand goes down. Prices go down, demand goes up. Typically, prices drive the economy. However, we are seeing this right now where if I wanted to protest something, I could just not buy it, right? So the whole Nike thing, if you were really upset with a certain company, the customers can influence it. Remember in the last chapter, we were talking about the free enterprise system interest groups?
Yeah.
So we can influence it. There's going to be some situations where we can't. We're going to get to that probably tomorrow, right? So just a graphic of the law of demand. And then we dealt with the what the curve looks like in general, just a very generic curve. Substitution effect, that's the tendency to look for deals, look for the sale, look for the item to replace it with. We don't necessarily always buy those things. We tend to look for that. Income effect changes our purchasing power, so the ability to buy stuff based on our income. And then you can compare yourself to other people. Like you have more income effect than other people, or you have less based off of how much money you have in income. Law of diminishing marginal benefits. This is where we get to the utility of something. And outside of just drinking water, if you look at something, does anybody ever work with someone who's too helpful? Like where you're like, okay, thank you, but that's enough. Or does anybody know anyone who's too nice? Because there's people I work with that
Gabby.
my gosh, thank you thank you so much. I appreciate that, but stop. Like you're like, I just need. I always compare it to if you eat too much sugar, and then you're like, okay, I just need like vegetable soup. I just need something not sugar because your brain's like, I just need. It's
Does that
too much.
happen to you?
It does.
Oh,
Every
I feel
once in a
so
while.
bad.
Mind you, I eat a lot of sugars when you get that point. But again, our utility, the usefulness of something, can diminish over time, right? And in a weird way, not to go back to the discussion earlier, but dating is very, very much a law of diminishing marginal benefits. Right now, you'll have those situations where you're dating someone, and it's like, oh, it's so great, I love you. We gotta talk, and then you have that moment where you're like, okay, that's great, but it just needs my me time, and then it's really, really nice being with you, and then you eventually get to the point where I really like you, but we should just be friends, right? And then you have that downside, or you have a relationship that goes up and down and up. And if you know anyone that's been in a long-term relationship, there's that big up when they first met, you guarantee it, and then there's the ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. It just keeps on going, right? But again, you can look at relationships as a law of diminishing marginal benefits. Okay. We talked about graphing conditions, okay, and then the fact that we can graph quantity demanded, but we can't necessarily graph demand, right? So demand open-ended, very generic. Quantity demanded, very specific, each particular price. Who in here started shopping for Christmas stuff?
Oh, I went to Hobby Lobby last week.
Right. Quantity. Now, keep in mind, just an FYI from you to me, and this morning my brain kind of freaked out for a moment because I'm realizing the supply chain issue is affecting delivery. So if you're looking to do anything online shopping, you better start now.
I already have my Christmas shopping done.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
I think you should Christmas shop because I don't know what my family is. So.
It's so easy. I love shopping.
Okay. We then got into non-price determinants. Now these are all the things that impact us that have nothing to do with the actual price of the item, outside things that affect us, right? So we talked. The first one was about income, inferior goods versus normal goods, but we talked about that with one of the questions already, which I was quite impressed with. So the generic curve that I did with you guys, did I pull you guys in this one?
No, we didn't do that one. We did like the curve.
Yeah, your curve is actually full on. I did it with the class. This is a generic version of the same thing, right? So current income, and then you get a pay raise, and yes, my demand will shift to the right. Right? That's the tendency we typically see with the income effect, or income, sorry. This one is consumer expectations. Did we get to this one?
No,
All
we
right,
did
so
not.
this is new. This one is one where we look at it. There's a couple different ways of looking at this. B and C, we tend to look at this from a sales perspective, right? There's a sale this week, so my demand, or there's a sale on Black Friday. It's a perfect example. Black Friday is next Friday. Right?
I'm so excited.
So there you go. That's exactly what I was looking at. Consumer expectations, right? Because I could buy it today, but my demand is super low because I'm waiting for next Friday.
But
Right?
it's also shopping and violence at the same time. It's great.
Oh yeah.
I push it
Yeah,
over
there's Black Friday hysteria. Oh man, Black Friday consumer expectations on that day is insane.
Like the Cabbage Patch Kid dolls, where they're just chucking them at the crowd.
There's been a couple. I gotta see if I, depending on where we get. If I have a couple minutes left, I'll pull up the video that I usually show. I don't know if I have it linked anymore. I think I do, but it was Black Friday catastrophes. There's a couple of them. Well, again, people have died on Black Friday in just stampede situations.
But stampedes aren't that bad if you know what you're doing. You know, you just gotta.
Unless you're right in the midst of it and you can't get out of it. Part of it too is those doors. Go ahead.
You just gotta be like, you gotta be strong enough not to fall down.
Well, there was one I was watching. It was a big guy that was just stuck in the middle of it. He just couldn't. He was pushed up against the wall. Now the doors that most of the places have that are the sliding doors. For those who don't know, do open up. If the wind gets too severe to avoid them from breaking, they'll actually open like big huge doors. So that happens every once in a while. But one of them that I heard of was the person that one of the sales reps was actually at the door trying to like calm everyone down, and they knocked the door over and stampeded this guy underneath the door, and he died. So
You got crushed by a door.
Yeah.
I'm a sad way to
crazy.
die.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. It's one of those, and then they try to alleviate it by moving it to Thursday nights, and then Black Friday really isn't Black Friday anymore. It's like Gray Thursday.
Which is like, is it
And it also
right after
goes
Thanksgiving,
into like
right?
the next week
So
with
it's-
online stuff. So.
Yeah,
You're
like
like,
Cyber
oh,
Monday.
I don't want to do anything.
So it's kind of crazy, but again, our demand can change, right? And again, one of the things is some people will say, my demand for Black Friday is nothing. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait till Monday, Cyber Monday, and just stay at home, comfort of my own home, stay at the computer, buy all my stuff on that Monday, with the expectation of it being with to me by Christmas, right? So our expectations can change. Now that's actually like if it's a sales situation. The other one though you can look at is the quality versus quantity situation, which I brought up last week, right? Do I want the good, high name, high price item? Do I want the cheap version that, if it breaks, no big deal.
Why is that?
So for this one, what I want to do is a 95-inch television. Right?
Oh, my mom was one of those so bad.
And this is 75-inch, so add 20 more inches onto that. 95-inch television. Okay, I'm going to do a generic one on this one just to speed things up a little bit. Right, so it doesn't have to be anything specific, or I'm not gonna pull the class for this one. We'll do another one, but not this one. So if we're looking at the demand for the television with no specials, there's no deals. It's just a traditional normal day. Right? Most of us are looking at this and going, oh man.
Oh, it's 7,000. I said 700,000.
Yeah, that's a little bit too much for a 95-inch TV. I would not buy that. Better plate it in gold instead of with diamonds.
I better have money. I don't know if you do it.
Right. So again, generic, not that big of a demand because there's no sale. Right now, some of us are looking at this and go, yeah, but if it's like a Samsung or a Sony, all right, yeah, 95-inch TV for $3,000.
Have you seen the new Google TVs?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I found one on the opposite end of that spectrum. I found two TVs a couple years back, which is very difficult to find. I was quite surprised that these even existed. Was a flat screen TV with nothing attached to it. There was no specials. There was no hookups with Netflix. There was nothing. It was literally just a 55-inch flat screen TV.
A monitor.
You want to know how much I? Yeah, basically. You want to know how much I paid for that?
Like what? Couple hundred?
Couple hundred. It was $250 for both. For each.
That's not bad.
$500 for two 55-inch TVs.
Oh wait, would you have like a fire stick or
Well,
something?
no. Then what I did was at the gym. I put them up at the gym, and I have two Apple TVs because we almost all of us have iPhones, so they can just stream it to it. So if I'm video recording my students and I want them to see what they're, I just hook it to the Apple TV and it works pretty well. I didn't need all special. I don't need, so like in this situation, do I need a 95-inch TV? No. And that was $1,000.
It's justifiable.
Yeah, because most of the TVs nowadays, like your 45, 60, no, most of them are 60, 70-inch TVs are around $1,500 to $2,000 now, which is crazy. Because when I bought my first 45-inch TV with a big, huge, thick border all the way around the edge, it was $1,400. And I thought I was the first person in our family to have this. So people would come over and be like, "Oh my gosh, that's awesome!" And then of course, my brother-in-law had to go out and buy himself a 65-inch Vizio on Thanksgiving, which I helped him install. And then I think it was like 6 months later, it busted and wasn't working because it's a Vizio. The lights weren't working anymore, and I was like, Black Friday deal. And then he went and upgraded to a 65-inch better TV, and I went out and got a 65-inch TV. Samsung. Now of course it's too small. It's actually really pretty nice, but now it's old though. This is the law of diminishing marginal benefits, and I'm like, okay, what's the next TV I want? What's my 95-inch TV?
Get a projector.
That's what I'm
That was the next thought. But in my basement, I can actually project it on the wall.
Yeah, but the projector's not as bright as the TV screen.
Yeah.
That's true.
Matter of fact, this is actually one of the reasons why this works better than because I used to have the projector. You can actually see that hooked up right there. That's what I used to have it project at this, and it was just super dull, and so I could never have the windows open. I had to always keep the blinds closed like all the time. So this is better. Right
Did
now,
you also have? Is that your button? Your call button to the office? Okay.
Don't touch it.
I wanted to.
if however
No.
there was a 50% off sale this weekend, meaning this is actually only $3,500 now. This is only $3,000. This is only $2,500 and only $2,000. Well, now, okay, I wasn't gonna buy a 95-inch TV, but now I'm in. Right? So my demand today, not so much. I'm gonna make demand next Friday. Matter of fact, this is the cause of what was one of the other stories I heard of was a shooting at a Toys R Us.
Oh, a shooting at
Two dads,
Imagine.
and they shot and killed each other on Black Friday over, I can't remember what it was, but they were arguing over a toy, and the one guy pulled a gun out, and the other guy pulled a gun out, and they shot each other and killed each other at a Toys R Us.
What a way to go. At least it was
I think
mutual.
they found it.
But it's for my kid.
No, it's from like a bullet's like colliding. Just like
Well, that's a whole.
Yeah, they
It's a
really
whole
care
other-
about their children is the real moral of that story.
Pink it so bad.
All right. Now, population. This one is super basic, and it's literally a physical thing, depending on how many people. Right. So my demand for whatever I would say in this class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people is out of 13 people. Okay. If I were to say demand for the whole school, which one would I have more demand? This whole school or my classroom? The whole school, right? We're looking at about 1,000 students plus staff. Right? That's a lot more demand. So just literally population. So if I'm comparing Valley City to Medina, where is there more demand?
Where's Valley
I have
City?
no clue.
Valley City, if you're in Brunswick,
City.
Oh yeah, that's it.
you pass through Brunswick, going away from 71, just keep on.
Okay.
Where what's the Smoski's Pizza?
Ah,
That's Valley City down there because it's in the valley and it's a city, which was I'm pretty sure how they got the name. What's the we're in Valley. Ooh, Valley City. All right. So if we look at this, when we look at the demand, I just looked at the populations of different things. So for the United States of America right now, actually this is a little old, so this is
We're
a
not
little
writing
more
this,
now.
right? We're not writing this.
Not this one.
Okay.
Nope. Ohio, we're close to 12 million now. 12 million. Medina County, 178,000. Closer to 180 now, just because of people being born.
People.
Although it's slowed down, I'm not sure if anyone knows this. Just generically, it used to be for every one death we were having 2 births. Now it's evened out. So now for every death we have a birth. So it's actually even and potentially slowing down. So
Nice.
good. All right. So for this one, on a side note, on the right side, I was just curious if you guys know, Medina is the most populated city in Medina County, about 62,000.
You say Medina is the
And then
most
there's
populated city in
You think it's Brunswick?
I think Brunswick's small.
Brunswick's actually getting larger and larger and larger. Traffic's bad. It's
Yeah, sure.
Part of that's because of the stupid Meyer construction right there.
Yeah, that's
Once
not
that's
helping
done.
at all.
Do you go to Brunswick a lot, Mr.
I live in Brunswick.
Oh, that makes more
That
sense.
explains why you know
now.
everything about Brunswick.
I was like, why do you like always bring up Brunswick? I live in Brunswick too.
That's
But it's
so
not. You can't even
cool.
call it
It
Brunswick
sucks.
anymore because it's literally
It's-
just as
yeah.
suburban as
Although my parents live in Brecksville, and so my brother, the one that lives in the Netherlands, when he visits, he always jokes because of Brunstucky. He's like, how are the dirt roads out there in Brunswick? I was like, that's not bad, but every once in a while we get in these battles over with Litchfield about land ownership and the cannon fire. It's just crazy. He's like, what's going on with the bear situation? He's like, have you guys gotten electricity yet?
Actually, on my way to school today, I was coming up over a hill where I live, and there was just a horse in the middle of the road.
Okay.
Great.
And it was just standing there. What
Brunswick-
do I do? Move the horse?
Okay, get out of
Yeah.
I was in my Honda
Brunswick
Civic.
has a lot
Like,
worse than like Wayne County, where it's all like, yo. Like,
No, I don't know how actually.
I was talking to Officer Snyder, and he said at one point there was a rogue, a rogue Amish buggy, and he said all he had to do was pull his car right in front of the horse, because the guy fell asleep.
well, that's great.
The Amish guy was riding. He was like, he pulled up past him, and the guy was just sleeping. And so Snyder had to pull up in front. And he said that it just stops because, of course, there's something in its way. It sees it, but he had to go wake up the Amish guy. You all right? All right. Who do you guys think is the next biggest city?
Brunswick.
Not Brunswick.
oh, I definitely think. Out of Medina County? Yeah.
Oh!
In Medina
There's
County.
not
Are we supposed to write the
43,000
names?
people that live in that city.
There's probably more at this point. They keep building apartment complex too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually a potential problem because they don't pay property taxes. So all those people are living in those. This is what North Carolina's running into.
And
There's so many apartments.
February.
And there are houses, but there's more
January,
apartments than there are
December.
houses. So people are coming in. The only person paying sales tax property tax is the landlord, not the people living in the apartments.
I live in Brunswick Hills, so it's not as big as.
Yeah, that's what who do you guys think is next? What's that?
Strongville's not part of that.
Well,
Strongville's not.
we're in Medina County, so that's kind of right on the edge, though.
Wadsworth.
Who always forgets Wadsworth's part of Medina?
Literally, my uncle
I
lives in
thought
Wadsworth.
Wadsworth from Medina.
Yeah, we have a couple
If you would have
Wadsworth
gave me the name of the list of the cities that were on there.
Wadsworth,
I got it.
It's literally 45 minutes from us and it's still in downtown.
Yes.
Wadsworth doesn't exist.
Right on the edge,
Yes, it's
right in
right.
the corner.
No,
It's right
Wadsworth
there.
has the best Target.
It's not.
Hinckley's the next one.
Oh.
That's a big jump.
Is it Hinkley
I was
by
like,
Carolina?
oh, well, okay.
No.
Oh,
Hinkley's
So
by
if you're-
Brunswick.
If you pass New Brunswick going the opposite way, away from Valley City, going toward.
So I've never been to Valley City. Valley.
Well, I've never been to Valley City either. I've been to Valley City.
You're practically in Valley City right now.
From
You're
30,000
5
down
minutes
to
that way and
7,000.
you're in Valley City.
And then 5 minutes
Yeah.
that way, and you're in Hinkley. All right, next one, Seville.
Oh, Seville.
Hinkley sucks.
Are all of these part of Medina County?
Actually,
There's
Valley
nothing
suck.
in Hinkley.
Exactly.
Hey, there's a giant eagle and a donut shop that got ran into. And that's about it.
But they do have a
Brunswick.
great. They have a great sledding hill.
It's alright. There's one down the street from my
Lodi's
house.
part of Medina County?
That's so
That's like an hour
I was gonna say,
away.
I drive through there to go camping.
And Medina County, who are any Black River in here? Right?
Ew,
The Black
Black
River
River's
students
nasty.
drive. Some of them are 45-minute drives to get.
I got a
Brunswick's
buddy who's
like
in our
20 to
program,
30 if you do it right.
and he's like 45 minutes from my house.
My cousin lives out there.
Yeah.
And like he's using my car right now, I'm so scared he's gonna hit something.
Except for
Valley
Brunswick.
City's
I'll
next
cry.
stop.
Like I see him every day. He drops his
I'm
girlfriend
sure
off.
that's city.
I think
Yeah,
it
for
is.
this
Yeah.
drive, that's crazy.
Check my car.
Hinkley
It's
doesn't
not
count.
fun.
Spencer.
Spencer.
I forget
I always know what
Spencer's
Spencer is.
Oh.
It's like by Black River, right?
That's what
Yeah, if you
Alzheimer's
you guys know where the well, you guys 71 and 18 where all the new stuff has been built. If you go down to where the Goodwill is, right down there, turn left and go to
River
Smith,
Sticks.
River Sticks Road, and go to Smith and just go on Smith and just keep going.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
way
For like
you
30
go.
minutes.
I take 303 all the way down, go left, and go to the roundabout.
Gotta love the roundabout.
Which one?
Litchfield.
Litchfield.
The one that which one are you thinking of? The newer one? That's over by Highland High School?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
That thing's
It's like
never mind.
there's like the
Messed up?
Sure.
It's called like the Hungry
Said that.
Bear, and then there's a
Okay.
tattoo shop, a gas station,
Oh,
and then there's always like a stand on the other side, like somebody trying to sell something.
And last one but not least.
Chippewa.
Chippewa. Their football team sucks.
They really do.
In my school beat them.
that roundabout's a lot better than the four-way intersection that used to be there, though.
When you go to
The who here has seen those new exit
Well,
ramps they have now?
technically, okay, so I'm
The
older
new versions, they're no
Buckeye.
longer like the one where you stop.
I live in Wayne
go right
County.
there, you turn left or turn right. You actually get off.
And then you go,
it veers you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you actually have to cross the bridge.
Smithville.
I actually know the guy who designed it. He's a
It's a
guy
country
he lives in
town. We have tractor races.
Of course he lives in Brunswick.
We have bring our cow to school day.
Supposed
Bring
to
our
be more
cows.
efficient. Right?
Ow.
Football team.
Move.
Alright.
Like, what is this?
No.
So for this
No.
one,
It's a state this year.
Like, why?
Because why not?
so very,
You want
very
me to bring the cow?
generically, guys.
No, I've
If
never
I'm looking at the
ridden a
demand
cow.
for pizza in Chippewa Lake, you can draw a generic demand curve. And it doesn't have to be anything specific.
Yeah,
So
someone's cow got hurt
just
too.
just physical comparison between Chippewa Lake and Medina, my demand is literally going to go up based off of population. If I was to compare Medina to Cleveland, where would my demand go?
To
Up or-
Cleveland.
To Cleveland, it would be more demand, right? If I were to compare Cleveland to New York, where would there be more demand?
NYC.
New York, right? If I compared Ohio to the United States, right? So the demand
Ohio.
changes based off of population.
Definitely Ohio
Ohio.
on that
For
one.
pierogies, yeah.
Is it pierogies?
Yeah, you know, Polish food.
Those are nasty.
What is wrong with
Really? The door's that
Do
way.
you like ravioli?
Yeah.
Oh.
Raviolis are good, but pierogies are nasty.
Not catching on.
You know, I don't think she's catching on the fact that that's literally
No,
the
pierogies
same
have
thing.
mashed potatoes in them. Like, why would you put mashed potatoes
you put mashed
Okay.
in a
Thanks,
noodle?
pierogies.
And ravioli.
Have you ever
Yes.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay, you should.
My patties. They're nasty.
Ravioli.
No, they're nasty.
Good. So we will stop right there.